After a night out with your friends, there's always options for getting home safely. You could call your BFF, your mom or dad, whoever you can count on for a safe ride home. You could call your favorite cab company or 1-888 taxi guy. Or you could use the Arrive Alive smartphone app to help you choose your ride. Be it a friend, transit, or taxi, getting home safely is app easy. Now available for iOS and Android devices. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
Hi, I'm Ian Boddy, Mayor of the City of Owen Sound. Whether it's improving our parks, fixing roads, or planning our future for the city, it impacts all of us. Please tune in on Monday nights at 5:30 to Rogers TV or owensound.ca to become informed. Your support and your knowledge and your feedback is important to us, and having the knowledge of what's going on is really important and the first step.
You're watching Rogers TV. This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
And welcome everyone, RTV Sports Rap back again. A lighthouse, but a good house. Spencer Byers, your host, alongside me, Manny Pava out of Windsor, and my good friend, who's been on the show all of one time so far, his second appearance, first of the season, Cajun Theroux, Danny Castleum. Cajun, welcome in. I have to ask, how was your summer?
It was rocky at first, but it ended off on a strong note. Can't wait for basketball season to start. Baseball playoffs coming up. We got volleyball on the horizon with Sheridan and York, so I'm excited for that too. And I'm stoked for like the end of this year and then the beginning of next year.
Gotta be honest though, Cage, that is one ugly shirt you got going on. I'm not sure what exactly is going on there. I'm not sure what's turned you, but that is one ugly shirt.
The best team in the AL East. Let's just put it that way.
The best team in the AL East. Come on now.
Spencer, it's his first time on the show, and you're already giving him the gears? What kind of host are you?
Manny, I'm used to this.
Unreal.
Oh, look, Manny, you're lucky to talk about your Eagles. They just got past the Bucs. You're lucky to talk about your Eagles, but we'll get to the NFL here in a moment. We will start with the MLB playoffs as, Manny, your Tigers have already finished up their game as we talk, and they had a big win. Tarek Skubal has a career-high 14 Ks in the win. Manny, you predicted that the Jays would not win the division. They do end up taking the AL East, and you predicted the Tigers to not only not win the division, but miss out on the playoffs. They don't end up getting the division over Cleveland, but they do make the playoffs. And they get a Game 1 win, again, behind a Tarek Skubal gem. What are your feelings now up 1-0 in the wild card series?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I picked the Tigers to make the playoffs, and I picked the Blue Jays to win the AL East. Do we have footage of this so-called lies that you're spreading on this show?
Manny, you're so lucky. I am now producing the show. I will show you the lies that I apparently speak, okay? I now produce the show. I can make all the magic I need to, okay? I can Houdini any clip I need.
Manny, it's okay. He's a Yankees fan. He'd be fibbing on the daily.
Whoa, hey, Cajun. I can mute you whenever I want. Remember, I'm producing this show, guys, okay? I have the power now, okay? I have the power.
24/7, this guy is spewing non-facts on the show here. Listen, is Skubal not the best pitcher in baseball? And is that Game 1 performance just proves that he's the most dominant pitcher in baseball right now? The Yankees would love to have him. The Blue Jays would love to have him. In fact, every Major League Baseball team would love to have him.
Well, Boston has somebody close to him in Crochet.
He's
no Skubal, but he's close.
He's not even close. Come on.
It's okay, guys. It's okay, guys. Skubal will be a Dodger here in 3 years anyway, so it's not like it's going to matter.
Hey, it might be 2 years because he's up for a contract next year. So the Tigers and Chris Illich better
inevitably will join the infirmary that is the Dodgers pitching on the IL.
Right. But, now that the Tigers are in, it's a brand new season, right? And when you have Skubal, it's almost a guaranteed win day. Crochet is going to try to do the same thing for the Red Sox, but I got to think that the Tigers have the upper hand in their series. I got to think the Cubs beat the Padres, although I would love to see a Padres-Tigers World Series a la the 1984 Tigers Championship. Yankees-Red Sox might be the best series in the wild card. And I don't know how much the Reds will put up a fight against the Dodgers, guys.
Well, honestly, the best chance they're going to have, Manny, is in game one because Hunter Green has a great year, dealt with injuries. Fantasy owner myself, I know, but Hunter Green has been spectacular when he's been on the field. So if the Reds are going to win a game, it would be game one with their ace pitching, but he's against Blake Snell, a former Cy Young winner in both leagues. So it's not an easy night. And again, you guys talk about great pitchers. You talk about Garrett Crochet. What about Max Fried? Max Fried's a stud. Max Fried had a great year this year for the Yankees. Okay, let's slow the roll on all this Garrett Crochet love, White Sox love. What's going on here? Like, I'm not sure what copium I'm listening to, but anyway, Cajun, since you're wearing the Jays shirt, I know you're not even a Jays fan, but since you're wearing the shirt, they get the bye going into the ALDS. You know, what are your feelings on the wild card as we kind of started up here today?
Well, with the Tigers and Guardians, you would have to think that was a one game Detroit had to win. Scooble on the mound. And Gavin Williams, shout out to Gavin Williams. That man's been no slouch either for the Guardians, striking out 8. And both of those runs, might I add, that the Tigers had were unearned. 2 Cleveland errors really hurting their cause in that case. But here's my question. What after that? Because you're not going to have 3 Tarek Scoobles.
You don't worry about it, Cajun. Casey Mize is coming on.
Let me finish. I'm like, you need one of Mize or Flaherty to step up.
And that's not a problem. Not concerned about it.
It remains to be seen. And even then, that game was close. The Guardians had a runner on third, nobody out.
Yeah.
Ultimately, they didn't tie the game up, but I can see this going to 3 easily.
So the one thing that stands out for me for the Guardians, and it usually comes true in the playoffs, is if you're not a good fundamental baseball team, it rears its ugly head in the postseason. The Guardians were 3rd in the league in errors. What did we see in game 1? 2 errors that led to unearned runs. They rear their ugly head in the postseason, and that's what we saw in game 1.
And Cajun, doing your best Buck Martinez impression, okay? You better quiet down over there with the errors for the Yankees, okay? They're going to win tonight. They're going to win tonight, and that's all I'm going to say. By the time this comes out, you will have seen the Yankees win game 1.
In all seriousness for the Yankees, sure, they're coming in red hot after a sparkling finish to the regular season, but look at the teams that they played. The Orioles, the White Sox, the Orioles again, and then the Twins. I'm kind of wondering how is that gonna work against a ace pitcher in Garrett Crochet? Now, Max Fried does have the postseason experience edge, and he's pitched in the World Series and has thrived in it. So he's got that working for him. But how is Crochet going to handle that postseason experience? Because he's been there, but as a reliever. But now on the biggest stage, you're the guy for the Red Sox. Are you going to put up or shut up?
And you're in the Bronx, which ain't an easy place to play. And again, we know I'll say you guys make fun of the Yankees. That that's all right. When you're the best team in baseball, the most historic team in baseball, you gotta. It's with the territory. It comes with the territory, And with that, playing in the Bronx ain't an easy place to go. Ain't an easy place to go. Unlike Detroit, easy place to go. New York, not an easy place to go. Toronto, easy place to go. As the Orioles commentator said, Canadian baseball fans, what do they know? A lot, actually, a lot. Now that one actually really upset me. Sadly, we didn't talk about that in the show because we just missed it.
Yeah, I was about to say, didn't that upset you?
Oh no, I got hot about Canadian baseball fans and that Orioles color commentator. That one did kind of stick in my craw, if you will. But as the wild card goes on, guys, obviously again there's still one game to be played later today as the Yankees and Red Sox are playing currently as we are speaking. Again, the Cubs get a game 1 win, the Tigers get a game 1 win as JC Coots joins us. And JC, got to get you in the fire. Welcome in.
Hey.
Wild cards, 2 games done, 2 games to go. What are you seeing so far, and who do you like as the wild cards continue?
Well, I mean, it's been a pretty interesting start to the day. I mean, Scooble for the Tigers looked fantastic this afternoon, which is exactly what they need him to do. Probably for a team that has been not playing their best baseball as of late. That's a great start to get out in front in that series. I think the most eyes will probably be on that Yankees-Red Sox series, and with that starting tonight, I think the biggest thing to remember with the Yankees is that the one guy that has a lot of regular season success and hit 50 home runs does not seem to have a lot of postseason success. So I think all eyes will be on Aaron Judge, and I think that's your big factor for the Yankees. Is your best player going to perform at the high level that you're used to having him perform at, or will he fade away in the postseason as he typically does? So, I mean, it's probably a bit of a toss-up of a series because both teams, both Boston and New York, have been playing really good ball as of late to get them back into that postseason position. So they're on a bit of a different trajectory than where the Blue Jays were at. But you know what? Let those two teams beat the heck out of each other. Let them go the distance, and hopefully the Blue Jays can pick up what's left of the pieces when the ALDS starts on the weekend.
Nah, screw that. Whatever. I want both teams. I want either team at its best. I want all the smoke.
Yeah, of course you do.
Judge,
As a non Jays fan, of course you do, Cage. Of course you do.
Aaron Judge has a 205. Aaron Judge has a 205 batting average in 58 playoff games.
And Spencer, like it or not, he's got to have a better postseason.
Okay, now I'm going to level. I'm a Yankees fan. I got a Yankees jersey. I've worn it on the show quite a few times. If Aaron Judge is not the best player in any series the Yankees are in, they're not likely going to win. And that's just the reality. Like, you have to have your best player who was, the leader in average in the AL, was top in home runs in the AL behind Cal Raleigh. Like, he is one of the best players in baseball. He's got a couple MVPs on his mantle to prove it. He beat Shohei Ohtani 4-1 to prove how good he was. So he has to be the best Yankee. And if he isn't, like as you guys have mentioned, he hasn't been since basically COVID, the Yankees don't have a great chance of beating really anybody, including the Red Sox, who, again, have a great pitcher in Garrett Crochet, who's fighting the Yankees' best pitcher, Max Fried, who's also been spectacular this year. And I think Game 1 will tell us a lot about those two teams and who will come ahead in that series and eventually play the Jays in the ALDS and eventually beat the Jays, by the way, because it doesn't matter who gets through. The Jays are not winning. If they win a game, they'll be lucky, but winning the ALDS anyway. So, I'll just make sure I get that point in there, because unlike Manny, my predictions usually come true.
I'm more scared of the Red Sox than I am the Yankees. I'm not worried about the Yankees.
Yeah, again, you're not a fan, so you don't count. Okay, your opinion is null and void.
He's on the show.
Yeah, he's on the show by my invitation, Manny. So I can mute him when I need to.
Error after error, gaff after gaff from the Yankees. I'm not worried one bit. They'll shoot themselves in the foot defensively.
And Jeff Hoffman will blow a couple more saves for you. And Jeff Hoffman will blow a couple more for you out of the pen. Anyway.
Won't even get to that. It won't even get to that point because the Yankees defense is atrocious. And speaking of bullpen, let me not get started with the Yankees bullpen. The beleaguered Yankees bullpen.
Anyway, you can tell he's from the city. He doesn't know when to stop talking. Anyway, JC, I'll go to you now. As the playoffs again have started in the MLB, who do you see as your World Series matchup here as the wild card is just beginning?
I'm still stuck on the he talks too much, and that's coming from you, Spencer. But again, hopefully my opinion matters. But in terms of...
Very much so, JC, very much so.
Thank you. Oh, boy. What have I walked into here? I think at the end of the day, listen, I think it's hard to count out the Dodgers, even though they're in that wild card position. I mean, they are the defending champs. They've got a good team. They might just peak in October. So I would have to like them. I think we're seeing some really good things out of Seattle on the American League side. I'm not going to throw my heart in with the Jays, even though I would love to see a repeat of 92 and 93. But you got to keep in mind, if they can get past that ALDS, they're going to have, what's the nickname? Big Dumper waiting for them with all those home runs and with probably that MVP that he's going to win. So it's going to be a tough go, but listen, I think it's still up in the air for who comes out of the AL. I think the NL's a little bit more defined. Maybe the Dodgers. Brewers obviously played baseball at an elite level throughout the entire course of the regular season and stayed up in that top spot for most of the season. So, I mean, you have to like them. I laid out my reason a couple of weeks ago of why I would like to see the Brewers win for Bob Uecker, so I still stand by that.
Well, you mentioned the Dodgers peaking at the right time. They're 8-2 coming into the playoffs. The only team better than that 8-2 in the last 10 is the Yankees at 9-1. But as Cajun mentioned, the teams they played weren't exactly the best competition, you could say. But you still got to beat the teams in front of you, which the Yankees did, and played themselves almost into a division win against the Jays, which was surprising with how many games they were back in the middle of September. I will now go to you, Manny. Who do you like as your World Series combatants as the wild card begins?
Speaking of big dumpers, your hosting performance could be categorized as a big dumper. Secondly, it's an opinion-based show, so all opinions matter. Thirdly, Max Fried is 2-5 in the postseason with a 5.10 ERA. So all the Yankees love needs to stop for a minute. The World Series will be Cubs-Tigers. Write it down.
Well, I'll be the third prediction Manny misses in a week, so that'll be great. Cajun, what about you? Who do you like in the World Series prediction as the wild card begins?
Honestly, give me the two teams that have great starting rotations, terrific bullpens, and terrific offenses. I'm talking about the Phillies and the Mariners. Because even with Zach Wheeler out, you still got a great rotation led by Sanchez, Suarez. Aaron Nola's had some great postseason moments as well. So that rotation is pretty fearsome. And their bullpen, give them credit with Duran now being the closer on that team, they've gotten a lot better. And Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner, all proven postseason performers. So they've got it down from top to bottom. The Mariners, their offense, a lot better. And it's not just Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, who I think is going to have a big postseason because a lot of people are going to try to stop Cal Raleigh, which might open the door for Rodriguez. Then you got Eugenio Suarez, Josh Naylor, J.P. Crawford. You got Randy Arozarena. You got some great offensive pieces. And don't get me started with the rotation. Woo, Gilbert, Kirby, Bryce Miller. That's a solid rotation. And then with Munoz being the closer on that team, they got both teams, top to bottom, are pretty elite. Now, as we've very well seen over the past years in baseball, with the exception of maybe last year for the World Series, predictable isn't exactly predictable. The unpredictable always happens. We saw Atlanta have the best record in the league 2 years ago and promptly get ousted in the division series. Same thing happened to Philly just last year. So the eye test for me says Phillies Mariners, but as baseball player, as the baseball postseason has proven to us time and time again, that does not mean anything at all.
I will go with the Yankees and Dodgers rematch. I'm a Yankees fan and have to back them. I'm not scared to say that. And the Dodgers are, hey, call me what you want. It's easy to pick the Dodgers.
Yankees,
they spend all the money.
Celtics,
They get
49ers. Holy.
And I'll make sure I say this now. Cajun is my color commentator with both York University and Sheridan College volleyball. Cajun is my guy. I do love that guy, but man, does he talk a lot. Anyway, and as JC mentioned, I talk probably more than he does somehow.
But okay.
But anyway, so I'll go Yankees, Dodgers. Hard to pick against the Dodgers. They've got the pedigree. They've got the team. Even with underperformance and injuries, as Cajun mentioned, they're a team that's just dangerous when it gets to October because you just got to think the talent figures it out. And then for the Yankees, again, I got to stick by my guys, and I think Aaron Judge will be the MVP of the playoffs when we get to that point. Now, I did want to talk about the OHL guys, and especially after I saw the CHL top 10, because Manny joining your Windsor Spits at number 2 there for the Spits, number 10. Owen Sound, the Attack, who start 4-0, beating Barrie twice, Kitchener, and London, have Windsor coming up this weekend. I mean, it's a big clash now at the Bayshore between the Spits and the Owen Sound Attack. I'll start with you, Manny, since obviously us Attack fans have seen quite a bit of Owen Sound. What's it been going on down there in Windsor?
Listen, the Spitfires are 5-0 without their 3 best players, arguably 4 best players, if you think Ilya Protas is coming back. I don't think Protas is coming back, but the Spitfires have done it without Liam Greentree, without Jack Nesbitt, without AJ Spellacy. Nesbitt and Spellacy are back with the Windsor Spitfires, and it looks like this is a really good sign. They've been doing it with the kids playing all right. Ethan Belchez, J.C. Lemieux, Ethan Garden, and they've only given up 4 goals in 5 games. So defense wins you championships, and right now the Spitfires are on that trajectory.
Well, and Joey Costanzo's been great for you guys. He was great last year for the Spits. He's been really good this year for the Spits. Again, a guy that you have to have a lot of confidence in right now is the guy between the pipes. And again, as you mentioned, keeping a team that is without Liam Greentree, who everyone has tipped as the Red Tilson favorite, as the top scorer favorite. It's going to be interesting to see how those guys fit back in. Not that they won't, but, any change is a change. JC, for us in the attack, obviously, we have all our guys back, and they looked really good on the weekend. They played 2 great games against Kitchener and Barrie, and of course, you had the call on Landon Jackman's first goal, which then turns into the game-winning goal against Barrie on Sunday. What have you seen from Owen Sound so far this year?
Well, we've seen good performances from the young guys. Landon Jackman in his first game being one of those performances. Nick Sikora has looked really good, like he's already developed and gotten his game and speed up to the OHL level. These are promising signs. We finally saw Pierce Bowie get one over the weekend, the defending OHL Rookie of the Year, so that's a great sign. We do have to keep in mind, though, and I'm just going to taper the celebrations a little bit for attack fans. We did face a Kitchener team that was missing a few guys. We faced a Barrie team that's missing Cole Baudouin and Emile Hemming. So we haven't quite seen the full rosters yet of any of these teams. Same going for the London Knights. They were missing quite a few guys as well. So until we have that sample size and things really start to get normal 2-3 weeks into the season, we'll see what we really got. This week's going to be a big test with 3 in 3 days, 2 being at home. The one interesting thing, of course, that Owen Sound is dealing with is the 3-headed monster in net. I wouldn't be surprised this weekend if we see Bennett get the start in Kitchener just because it's his hometown on Friday night. He got a start in Kitchener last year for the attack. I would not be surprised if we saw the comeback start for Kaprowski, who definitely wants another start quick to show that Sunday afternoon was, he clearly was not at his best. 4 goals and 17 shots. So they got to get him back in as soon as they can. Saginaw might be a good opportunity on Saturday afternoon for that. And then you're facing Windsor on Sunday. If you want a real measuring stick, it's going to be the Spitfires, and that's a Carter George game written all over it. So it'll be interesting to see how this weekend shows, because we will get a much better idea of who these kids are. But it was kind of nice today to look at that CHL top 10 list and see the attack on it.
It surprised me, to be honest, because again, I know how hot the start's been. I know we've all been impressed with what we've seen from the team, but for them to get recognition by not only the OHL when they moved up 9 spots in the power rankings to, I believe, 5th as of recording, and then get into the CHL top 10, it means everybody else is seeing what we're seeing too, JC. I'm not going crazy. You're not going crazy. Like, we're seeing a team that's really playing well to begin this season. And again, it's been very pleasant surprise, because again, you never really know on paper. It's different than on the ice, and all the new guys and all the young guys, and obviously camp maybe affecting some guys depending on fatigue and whatever, but the attack have been playing really, really good hockey, and I'm excited for the weekend. Again, you and I are in the booth on Saturday when Saginaw come to town. I'll be back hosting. Mark will be back when Windsor come to town on the Sunday. Obviously, they're in KW at the Odd to play Kitchener on Friday. So again, a busy weekend and a big weekend for the attack to again show us where are you compared to Windsor and a Saginaw team that is missing some guys, but Damian Jogan's been really good to begin the year too, and he'll be dangerous in the Bayshore. Now, I do want to go to the NFL, guys. We are now through 4 weeks. We have kind of seen what teams are going to look like. Injuries have taken a toll on everybody now, it seems like. And Cajun, I'll go to you first.
Speaking of injuries, oh my goodness, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill explodes his knee. Malik Neighbors tears his ACL this week. Obviously, all the guys that have already fallen to ACL tears earlier this year. And Cage, what have you seen through 4 weeks? Which teams do you like, and are anybody you don't like who maybe are pretenders?
Oh my goodness! Don't get me started with the Bengals offense without Joe Burrow, because that is just disgusting. That's vomit waiting to happen before the game even starts. I I like what the Chargers have done early on. Although they did lose to the Giants, Jackson Dart. Talk about getting the Giants back on track to a little bit of a degree. There's been a ton of disappointments. The Raiders haven't really gotten it all together. Caleb Williams has seemed to take a step forward down in Chicago with the Bears. He's kind of learned some things from his like bumps and bruises last season. Baltimore, that's kind of up in the air, especially with Lamar Jackson having a hamstring injury and with Derrick Henry fumbling a lot more to start off the year. You've kind of seen moments of struggle with the Eagles, but yet they're still undefeated in spite of that.
Doesn't that mean that the Eagles are scarier because they haven't figured it out yet?
You can put it like that because they haven't really figured out the run game with Saquon Barkley, and yet they're still undefeated. So that's kind of a scary thought that the Eagles aren't even playing their best football right now.
Well, I was actually going to mention that, Cage. You got an Eagles fan, Manny Pava, sitting beside you. Manny, what have you seen to begin the year? Colts offense has been great. Ravens have underperformed at times. Obviously, your Eagles are undefeated.
Yeah, like the Colts game against the Rams was a big one. I thought that if Indy wanted to prove that they belonged in the upper echelon, they needed to beat the Rams, and they were close. If not for a couple of bonehead plays by Mitchell, they might have won that hockey game against the Rams, but the Colts did not. The Ravens are in trouble. Their defense is horrible. The Bengals offense is even worse. It stinks. I think they gave the money back for all the fans that attended that Bengals Broncos game because that was manure. The Chargers, even though they're off to a great start, they've lost, their O-line is decimated. Speaking of injuries, no Slater and now no Alt. That Tyreek injury was just awful to watch. Like my stomach turned. I'm like the Bills and the Eagles, the only two undefeated teams. You know, even the Bills haven't looked the best at times, but they have found ways to win. So, and I thought the Chiefs' demise was overrated. You know, they're going to figure it out. And now that they got Worthy back, they're going to get Rice back here soon. Kansas City's going to be a team to mess with. The Packers, though, JC, my goodness, what are they doing kissing their sister on Sunday night?
I was actually going to go straight to that. JC Coots, the resident Packers fan of the broadcast. Couple minutes left, JC. A tie against the Dallas Cowboys. Micah Parsons saves you from a loss in overtime, but still not able to get the result against the Dallas Cowboys. What are your feelings right now about the Packers?
First of all, I'm frustrated that I stayed up past midnight. I'm a guy that gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning for work, so I was dragging my bum on Monday morning. But as much as it pains me to say this, based on the last two outings against the Browns and against the Cowboys without CeeDee Lamb, the Packers might be frauds. I mean, you had high expectations when they acquired Parsons. All of a sudden, now they're Super Bowl contenders. They go out in week 1 and beat Detroit, and things are looking really good. And then you lose in the last 5 minutes of the game to horrible Cleveland. You can't beat the Dallas Cowboys, who everyone accounted for dead after that trade. The good news is they got a bye week this week, which is a little weird to have one this early in the season, but a bye week this week. If anybody's battered, and maybe there are some injuries there based on those last two results, they get some time off. Then they got a couple real, I'm not going to say easy games, but favorable games against the Bengals on October 12th and against the Cardinals October 19th. And then circle this one on your calendar, the Packers versus Aaron Rodgers, the Steelers on October 26th, assuming that he's still playing by then. But based on the season he's having, some people today are saying Aaron Rodgers possible MVP, which, holy, but there's a lot of season left to go yet, and 41-year-old bodies don't hold up as well as they used to. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see. We'll see.
Easy, JC.
I didn't say it. I said some people said it. I didn't say there were